Welcome to Discovering. Tonight, fishing and hunting. I had the opportunity to spend some time on the ice with the creator of Beaver lures, made right here in the Upper Peninsula.
I make crawler harnesses, blade baits, spinners, jigging spoons.
Kristen spent some time rabbit hunting.
There it is, hey whitey girl. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
And we both managed to check in on a couple of predator hunts.
30 and 8 ounce, 30 and 9 ounces.
Stick around, it's Monday night and time for Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone. Forest thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak. Surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields. Call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill. The eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
As spring gets closer, it means the time to ice fish is nearing its end. It also means that when you do get on the ice, chances are the weather will be a lot nicer. I caught up with Caitlin Beaver of Beaver's Lures on a sunny day on the waters of Little Bay De Noc to do some walleye fishing and talk about lures.
Checking the depth right now. It's about 14 feet right here, so. I like to send them pretty light, just so the fish don't feel a tug. So we're just setting up tip-ups. We got Beaver tips on. It's just a treble hook with a little neon tip on there. So I'm gonna drop it down and get the depth. It's about 12, 15 feet here. I like to put it about 8 inches off bottom. And then we mark it with a sinker. Yeah, you don't wanna put the hook too deep or you'll spine them. Just right underneath the skin. They don't swim as well this way. So the fish are staging by the rivers right now, getting ready to spawn once the ice moves out. So typically, if you catch a walleye, it's gonna be a fat walleye because it's full of eggs, and they're probably gonna be over 25 inches. I'd be surprised if we caught anything any smaller than that, so should do pretty good. We've been doing pretty good every time we've been out, so we haven't been skunked yet.
Yeah.
And if we got a fish on, it's a nice fish.
Yeah. When we usually catch them, it's usually between 28 and 30 inches, I'd
Yeah.
say. We've been catching probably 3 or 4 a night. And then the other week was, we caught a pike that was 35, so that was the only pike we've ever caught out here. That's what she's been saying this whole time. I hope you catch a ginormous fish, Lucas, because then Caitlin will catch one.
So I'm going to be using a blade bait today. So since these blade baits vibrate, you don't want to put a full minnow on there. I like to put just a minnow head on this top hook. And then just cut it off right at the head. Just like that. And what I like to do with it is drop it down to bottom, give it a jerk off bottom pretty fast, it'll vibrate on the way up, and then just slowly jig it right back down to bottom. Fast jig up, and then slowly jig it back down. You can bounce it off bottom a little, then another fast jig up, slowly back down, and the walleye will typically hit on the way back down. So I started making lures with my grandpa, just simple things like crawler harnesses, and he was a big walleye fisherman, but during quarantine I didn't have much to do, so I just started making lures and it's kind of taken off from there. So I make blade baits. Here's one of them. This is the Dirty Beaver. I like to jig them off bottom, and when you lift up, they'll vibrate on the way up. And then usually if there's a walleye there, it'll hit on the way back down. So I airbrush all my lures, and I have a mold, a lead mold for them too. So I mold this little head on there, and then I airbrush the rest. And then I make some crappie jigs. We've had really good luck with those this year. I've got 1 32 ounce and 1 16th ounce. You don't need a sinker, so that makes it really nice. And then I also make ball head jigs, spoons, blade baits, ball head jigs, crappie jigs, and then more towards the spring I'll be making spinner baits, spinners, and spoons for trolling.
As you may have noticed, the fish didn't cooperate so well that day. So when I found out that Caitlin and crew were heading out again to a different location, I decided to tag along. And we did eventually manage to connect up with the walleye.
Jigging the tip ups, and then I eventually saw the tip up go up, so I ran over, set the hook, and brought him right up. So finally get some action. Nice 22-inch male probably. And a 3-inch sucker. Doing it 1.5 feet off bottom, and that'll get it done. So.
I like coming out just because it's something to do. There's not a whole lot to do during the winter in Esky, so fishing's just one thing that I love doing. It's always really fun when you get a big fish on, and it's just, you make a lot of great memories. It's not something you forget. I think it's a great skill to have too. Not many people really know how to fish, so it's definitely something you can teach other people to do and make memories with them. Yeah, so I started making my own lures probably when quarantine first started. Just kind of bored, didn't have school, didn't have work. First started out in my room, and now I have a shop right next to Annie's Diner, which will be open soon. I make crawler harnesses, blade baits, spinners, jigging spoons, just the kind of like seasonal stuff. So you can find me at Beaver's Lures on Instagram and Facebook, and then I will have a website up soon, which will be beaverslures.com.
I had the opportunity to tag along with Eric Kielinen of Lake Linden and Mikko Martinen, a journalist from Finland, for a rabbit hunt in the Copper Country. This is Mikko's first time hunting.
This is the same.
Eric brought along his father's 3 beagles, Whitey, Nipper, and Gypsy.
Back when I was a kid up here in this area with my father, he always had hounds. He had Swiss hounds at one time, and we got out and we used to do a lot of dog chasing. I called it today. If you were looking, you notice we're using electronics now, so it's a whole lot easier than it used to be. But yeah, it's just a good time. Get out, walk through the woods, enjoy the day. Let's go. Showtime.
They got one going already out there.
When you hear them coming, understand that the rabbit isn't right in front of the dog. The rabbit could be 50 feet, it could be 300, it could be 100 yards.
Okay.
So you just gotta kind of keep quiet when you can pretty much make noise. But when the dog's coming, just shut up and start watching.
Okay.
And then if you get in like here and you're sitting on that opening over there, watch the edges. They're typically running right along the edges.
Okay.
So we'll see if they get it going again and see what lights up here. And now they're heading right back to us. See where that dog's going? That's where that rabbit went. So we just took a half-mile walk for the sport of it, and the rabbits are right back where we left.
Miko saw one rabbit but wasn't fast enough on the trigger.
It's shortening up its track a little bit. It saw you, so it didn't come through.
Yeah.
So probably move up 50 yards. I'll move up over here. We'll see what happens. You saw one though, good. It's likely them dogs are coming back from that way across here. You could hear them come back around.
Yeah.
Kind of making a circle.
After circling around this spot for a couple of hours with no luck, we decided to move on. I was wondering, how on earth do you get the dogs to stop tracking and come back to you?
Yeah, baby, yeah! Yeah, yeah! Yeah, 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 yeah! Oh, who's them girls? Who's them girls? Come on. Come on.
The dogs weren't as eager this time around, but eventually they got on a track and took off.
It should come right through this stuff, but if you thought it was hard to shoot before, this is one of them spots where if you're here, they'll run right over you and they'll be doing bang. Right there, come through there. Heads up, heads up.
While I was following Miko, we heard one gunshot from Eric's direction.
There it is, hey Whitey girl. Oh, you got the rabbit, hey? You got the rabbit, hey? Oh, good girl. Good girl. Go get another one. Boy, I walked by a rift and I went straight down.
Even though there wasn't much shooting today, it was still a great time.
It's mostly just being outside. It's outside, it's quiet, it's peaceable. You get some exercise with it, and we went out earlier this morning in the tag elders. I was hoping to get, be a little more open for Miko to see something, and we ended up the day down in the swamp holes where you're shooting at about 6 feet, so.
Was this something you were planning to do when you came to the UP?
No, it wasn't. And I'm glad I did it because it's a real UP experience for sure. It's a mixture of patience and then fast reactions when you see something. So next time I'm doing this, I'm gonna hesitate a little bit less and let my reactions work.
Think you'll ever go rabbit hunting again?
If I ever have an opportunity, 100%.
There's something to hunt for just about any time of year in the UP. This time of year, it's predators like coyotes, bobcats, and foxes. And there are a number of events happening across the peninsula, catering to both hunters and trappers. I stopped in to check out a special one in Menominee County.
4 weeks ago, we run a predator hunt out of the William Anderson Sportsmans Club. We ended up with 55 animals out of that one, so we usually do one out of the Long Branch. So I sat down with a couple buddies and said maybe we'll do a Ray Bray memorial hunt. We lost Ray Bray 2 years ago to cancer, and he loved hunting. He wasn't very good at predator hunting, but he loved to get out and hunt. So we ended up putting this one on. I organized it.
27-1.
UP Bear Houndsman's donated a Thompson Center 50 caliber muzzle loader and a Rapid River knife.
34-8.
You have two-man team, the two classes. One is strictly baiting and calling, and the other one is trapping, snaring, shooting, but next year we're going to change that one to strictly trapping. So you'll be able to get in both classes if you want, but it's more fair for the guy who only traps versus guys sitting over bait and shooting too. We ended up with 36 coyotes and 2 bobcats, which is pretty good for only 12 teams I think we had total.
At the same time, Kristen was at Hoppy's Bar in Kenton for the annual predator hunt held there.
The Ontonagon Valley Sportsman's Club's annual Predator Roundup is held the weekend closest to the full snow moon in February. Sportsmen and women who sign up have from Thursday to Sunday to harvest coyotes, fox, and bobcats. The hunt ends with the official weigh-in at Hoppy's Bar in Kenton on Sunday at 1 and ends at 4 p.m. sharp.
Well, this is our 15th annual Predator Roundup at Hoppy's Bar in Kenton. Obviously, due to the COVID situation, we're doing it a lot differently. We kind of eliminated the team concept, eliminated the Thursday night sign-up, eliminated hanging the animals up on the poles. And today, normally, we have a meal here for the hunters. Maybe next year, back to normal.
I arrived at 2:30 and there were 13 critters on the board.
23-3. 28-7. 34-11.
The last coyote to go up came from a hunter from the Landsberg area. We've had some local right here from our own area. I think we had 6 or 7 come in from Iron River. 6 or 7 came in from 2 Ontonagon hunters, so it's kind of widespread. Pretty good turnout.
30 and 9 ounces.
Over a foot of snow piled up Sunday as the club weighed in one predator after another.
There's a $25 stipend for every animal that's come in, and we have $100 prizes for the biggest of each category, and I believe we have a $50 prize for smallest coyote. And we've already given away 3 gift certificates to Fred's EBO.
Most hunters we've ever had are 209, and the total harvest that year was 69. Our harvest this year is 36, and we're 1 off last year's pace at 37.
Nope, wait, one more coming to make that 37. The same total harvest as last year, including 23 coyotes, 8 bobcat, and 6 fox. Another year of good numbers for hunters, 127 total, including 9 women and 10 youth.
To me, this is the most fun thing we do this year. I really enjoy this, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully next year when it's back to normal.
Well, that's it for this week. Be sure to check out 906outdoors.com, where you'll find the 906 Fishing Report, TV6 weather, shopping, and more. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week right here on Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.